lot of fun tonight. When you're ready, first step is right in here. Now he's clearing. We ought to have the mesh right there. Every game is going to be the last time I'll coach against that opposing coach, and you know that's going to be tough. But I always want to quit before I lost 100, and so I got to have a pretty good year. I've lost 97. I don't want to lose 3 this year.
He's also won 240 games over the past 32 years, and yet the victories on the field are not the mark of this man, but rather the mark he's made in countless lives of these players and former Helias students.
It's not the win and losses, it's the development of the kids that you've coached and how they turn out. I think that's the thing that you remember.
Yet his success on the field won't be forgotten. His last 2 Seder teams completed perfect 10-0 regular seasons. His teams have made a dozen trips to the state playoffs. A father-like figure to hundreds of players, also a football father in his own family.
Coaching my own sons, God, they're just, I think I'm the luckiest man in the world.
Little did Ray Henches or the Crusaders really know what was to follow in Coach's 33rd and final season. A sneak preview of the '98 Crusaders at the football jamboree scrimmage at Columbia Hickman. The new season would begin with a new non-conference schedule, opening with a trio of big 5A schools.
You beefed up the schedule a little bit, didn't you?
Well, we had to. You know, the first 3 teams we played last year didn't want to renew with us, and so we had to find what we could that would play us, and Melville, Hickman, and St. Joe Central opted to do that. So we're just happy we got 10 games. 14-0. You know, that's the only goal that you can have realistically. And you know, we got some tough games on our schedule: Rockbridge, Hannibal, Hickman, and you know, most all the teams in our conference should be improved.
A slow start in St. Louis. 3 Melville field goals gave the Panthers a 9-0 victory. Helias held to just 53 yards on offense, falling to 0-1 on the season. Saturday night, September 12th, the Crusaders opened the home season hosting Hickman, the first meeting between the Cupies and Crusaders in 2 decades. And this was one of the best Hickman teams since the 70s. A team that would only lose 1 regular season game, Helias racking up 266 yards of offense against a big physical Cupie defense. Unfortunately, most of those yards coming between the 20s. The Crusader defense stood tall, no score at halftime. Hickman scored the first touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Brandon Hobbs, a 60-yard run, put the Cupes up 7-0. Helias tied it up with 2.5 minutes left in the game. Chad Castleman threw a lateral pass to Derek Lukanoff, who found a wide-open Stuart Henches 37-yard razzle-dazzle touchdown. It was 7-7. But the Cupes drove the field for a game-winning touchdown. Hobbs went over from 3. A tough 14-7 loss for the Crusaders. Helias falling to 0-2. 3 weeks into the season, Helias got its first win on the road at St. Joseph Central. A 3rd straight game against a bigger 5A school. Helias and Central went to halftime tied at 7-7. Helias took the lead on the first play of the 4th quarter. Crusader quarterback Max Rodeman, in for the injured Chad Castleman, snuck in on 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. The Crusader defense held from there. Helias won it 13-7, just the first of what would be a season-long winning streak. Now 1-2 on the season, on the road again the following week at Moberly.
I don't think it's going to be any easier because I've seen some awfully good 2 and 3A teams that can beat some 5A teams. So I don't think level has a lot to do with it. We just felt very fortunate. We think we beat a good football team. Here Moberly, I think, is a much improved football team, although they did take it on the chin last week. But Coach Morris has got them going in the right direction up there, and he'll have something special up his sleeve for us. He always does.
Using the big play and more solid defense, the Crusaders made it 2 in a row. Friday night, September 25th, first big play coming early in the second quarter of a scoreless game with the Spartans. Chad Castleman hit Ken Hunick on this 80-yard touchdown pass. Ryan Borman's extra point made it 7-0. Helias going up 13-zip midway through the third quarter. Matt Schmitz broke loose on a 93-yard touchdown run. Despite fumbling 5 times, Helias held on to beat Moberly 13-7, evening up on the season at 2-2, returning home to host Kirksville on Saturday night, October 3rd. After struggling on offense most of the early season, Helias broke out against Kirksville. It didn't take long to get started. Just a minute into the game, Matt Schmitz broke free on a 70-yard touchdown run. Helias got the ball right back on the Kirksville fumble. Brad Besson recovered inside Tiger territory. This Castleman to Hench's connection covered 38 yards, setting up a second Crusader touchdown. Derek Lukanoff carried in from 4 yards out. At a 2-point conversion, it was 14-0. Helias made it 20-0 late in the second quarter, putting together their most impressive offensive drive of the season. The Crusaders marching 83 yards on 13 plays. A 28-yard pass from Castleman to Henches, the key. Henches would cap the drive with a 1-yard plunge. Meanwhile, the Crusader defense, combined with a muddy field, gave the Tigers potent passing game fits. Helias would add its final score in the fourth quarter. A diving interception by Mike Kelly on an attempted screen pass gave the Crusaders the ball on the Tiger 19. 3 plays later, Henches scored from 12 yards out. A Ryan Borman extra point made it 27-0. That was the final. Helias riding a 3-game win streak, 3-2 overall, now 2-0 in conference. The Crusaders taking on Rockbridge next.
Homecoming is always special because the old players come back to to compare notes to see if this team is as good as they were.
Helias had a lot to celebrate on this homecoming. The Crusaders welcomed rival Rockbridge. It was a slow start, but a fast finish. Helias holding a slim 6-3 advantage at halftime before exploding in the second half. Jarvis Jacks gave Rockbridge a temporary lead at 10-6 on this 85-yard touchdown gallop. From there, it was all Helias. 4 unanswered touchdowns. Matt Schmitz ran in the first of his 2 TDs. That put the Crusaders back up on top 14-10. Stuart Henches went in from 26 at the end of the third quarter. Schmitz, Borgmeyer, and Rodeman added fourth quarter touchdowns. 325 yards rushing on the night. Helias celebrated homecoming, routing Rockbridge 42-10. Helias made it 5 in a row the following Friday night in Fulton. The first Crusader drive, big Matt Schmitz bowled in from a yard out. It was 7-0, Crusaders on top. Then on defense, Schmitz leading the Crusader D charge. Look at this, along with Chris Wilson forcing a Fulton 4-yard loss. The Crusader defense playing steady all year long. Helias' second drive against the Hornets. Chad Castleman pitching to Stuart Henches. A strong run, carrying some Hornet tacklers inside Fulton territory. Later, 4th and goal from the 1. Castleman keeps it around the end, into the end zone, make it 14-zip after the first quarter. Helias, relying on the running game most of the season, goes to the air here. Castleman connecting with Ken Hunick down to the 15-yard line. That would set up another Crusader touchdown. Henches carries in from 5 yards out. It was 21-0 at halftime. The Crusaders dominated the second half, winning a 5th straight, the final 47-8. District opener in Mexico, October 23rd, Friday night. Helias would hammer the Bulldogs. Stuart Henches found the end zone early. Next possession, Crusaders pinned deep in their own territory, but not for long. Derek Lukanoff from inside his own 10 all the way down inside the Mexico 10. Pulled down just short of the touchdown. That would set up a Matt Schmitz TD run, though. The Crusaders went on top. Helias running the ball well and passing too. To the air here in the second quarter. Castleman to his tight end, Jason Van Loo, making the nice diving catch out at the Mexico 40-yard line. That drive would end with another Schmitz touchdown plunge, 6 more for the Crusaders. And more Helias offense. Castleman through the air, this time hitting Chris Wilson, setting up one of the best catches of the year. Castleman to Hunick, back of the end zone. Another strong effort from the Crusader offense and defense, shutting out Mexico 35-0. That even pleased Father Doyle. The Crusaders were 6-2 on the season, 1-0 in districts, hosting Marshall next.
This game's going to be ours. Let's have a lot of fun tonight. Win, Richie!
This was Ray Hench's final regular season home game, and the Crusader defense was fired up. Again, they never let Marshall cross midfield. The Helias offense, sluggish early, did pick up steam here in the second quarter. Stuart Henches, with 106 yards on the night, set up the first Crusader touchdown with this run. Helias faked out Marshall, and even the camera on this 10-yard touchdown run. Lukinoff went untouched. It was 7-0. Next Helias possession just before halftime. Castleman going up top to Hunick. 29 yards for this connection. It was 13-0 at intermission. Helias on top. Ray Henches had a lot to smile about. 385 total yards, a third shutout, and Chris Wilson, a school record 3 interceptions. Helias clinched a third straight outright North Central Missouri Conference championship, a 20-0 win over the Owls. With the district championship on the line, Helias traveled to Hannibal. The Crusaders struck for 3 quick big play touchdowns. The first on this Derek Lukinoff 61-yard run. The Crusaders went up 6-0. Late in the first quarter, Castleman found a wide open Jason Van Loo, 48-yard TD. Just a minute into the second quarter, Stuart Henches broke through some Pirate defenders and raised 57 yards. Henches also scored on the 2-point conversion. Helias led 20-0 before giving up a Hannibal touchdown late in the second quarter. Just before halftime, Helias answered with a 74-yard drive, 7 plays. The 7th, this Joey Prenger 4-yard run. The Crusaders led 26-7 at the half. Helias added a defensive touchdown in the third. Prenger picked off the Hannibal pass and ran it back 27 yards, one of 3 Crusader touchdowns on the night. Helias won the district title with a 33-14 win over Hannibal. The Crusaders also wrapped up their 3rd straight undefeated conference season. Helias would carry an 8-game winning streak in against wrestling rival St. Charles West.
Coach Jeffries will probably save that for game time, but we've had some heated confrontations with them in wrestling, and they've got wrestlers, we've got wrestlers, and it's going to be a heated contest. It ought to be an excellent football game. Play 100%, guys, all right?
Things started a little shaky. First drive, Warriors quarterback Kevin Ball, one of the fastest athletes in the state last year, dashes in from 4 yards out, 7-0 St. Charles West. Crusaders answered late in the first quarter. Matt Schmitz bowls over from 3. It was 7-7. The big crowd liked that, and they would see a whole lot more. Some Crusader defense. They have played well all year. Josh Kunsting, the senior, levels ball in the backfield for the sack. More Helias defense. They didn't sack here, but they did strip the ball from him. Joey Prenger will recover at the 31-yard line of St. Charles West. That set up a Crusader touchdown 3 plays later. Derek Lukinoff takes the pitch here from Chad Castleman, goes in on the far end, 15 yards, a touchdown Helias. The Crusaders would pour it on. A huge second quarter effort. Look at this. Stuart Henches from the Crusader 31. He explodes. Got around the corner. He will stay in bounds, going 69 yards. Make it 21-7 Helias.
All right.
Ray Henches had even more to smile about. The Satyrs were not done in the opening half. How about another long run? Joey Prenger on the near side, 31 yards, tightrope job down the near sideline. Only the guy in stripes went down. 28-7, Helias a 3-touchdown lead at the half.
Hey, Rod, how are you?
Good first half, Ray.
Thank you.
Helias added one more touchdown in the second to make the final 34-7 over St. Charles West in the playoff opener.
I thought our defense sucked it up after giving up the first touchdown. I thought our offense played awfully well. We had some big runs tonight. All of our backs ran well. It was just a good offensive performance.
State quarterfinals in Jefferson City bring on Sumner. Helias finding a home away from home at Lincoln's Dwight Reed Stadium. Stuart Hench is in for the first touchdown, 16 yards. It was 6-0. Good defense here. Bulldogs' Michael Sanders picked off by Derek Lukanoff. Helias took over, and they didn't take long. This time, Matt Schmitz down to about the 5-yard line would go down, setting a second touchdown up for Helias. The Crusaders, Chad Castleman pitching to Joey Prenger around the near side. Number 5 would scoot in for the touchdown. Add a 2-point conversion. It was 14-0. Another strong effort from senior Stuart Henches, just under 100 yards. Wanting a little extra camera time here, evidently. Swung out of bounds. And he ran past the camera on the next carry, 51 yards for the touchdown. It was 21-0 late in the second quarter. The Bulldogs added a late score, but Helias rolled on 35-6, outgaining Sumner 348-168. The Crusaders now 10-2, 2 wins away from a state title.
Kids played a heck of a good football game tonight. We played well. We read our keys, and awfully proud of this group of kids from how we started the season, where we're at right now.
It was on to Salem for the state semifinals.
We're going down there with the idea that this is a team probably comparable to the last 2 that we beat, St. Charles West and Sumner, and we think that if we play well, come with our game face on, that we should win the ball game. But if we don't, I think they're good enough to beat us.
Saturday, November 21st, state semifinals at Salem. The Crusader defense dominated, and so did the offense. Midway through the first quarter, Chad Castleman to Ken Hunick, 7-0 Helias. A stingy Crusader defense held Salem to just 180 yards rushing on 46 carries. Mike Kelly recovered that fumble, one of 5 Salem fumbles. Matt Schmitz barreled over to make it 14-0. Next Salem possession fumbled back to Helias. Derek Lukanoff recovered deep inside Seder territory. Then Helias struck on the screen. Joey Prenger over the middle made the catch and zigzagged 71 yards through the Tiger defense. 21-0 at the half, 28-7 the final. Make it 11 straight for Helias. Career victory number 250 for Ray Henches. Most importantly, earning a trip to the Trans World Dome in St. Louis for the state 4A championship.
Our line won the battle in the trenches. That's where you win football games. We threw a couple passes early, 2 big touchdown passes. All in all, one fantastic game, and what a way to end my career. Couldn't be any sweeter. I tell you what, if you wrote a script, you couldn't beat it.
It would be really great. You know, he's been here for so many years. He's been here through a lot of highs and lows, and it'd be great to send him out with a state title. It's like a dream, I think, to him. It'd just be great and great for the team. It'd just be perfect, I think. Perfect ending to a great career.
I'm not sure I go back and reflect that much on it, but that was a special time in its own way. But I can remember the excitement that I had at that time. You know, that's been a few years ago. I'm a little bit older now, but I'm still kind of pumped for it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm happy for the kids because they're the ones that's got us there. You know, the coaching staff, I got an outstanding coaching staff. We've worked our tails off. Our first drive touchdown. This game's going to be ours. Let's have a lot of fun tonight. When you're ready,
As well as things have gone towards the end here, any feeling inside the heart that you'd really kind of like to come back again?
No, I'm at peace with my decision. My wife and I, we prayed about it, and we talked about it for quite a while, and we just felt at this time in my career, with my grandkids getting a little bit older, that it was time to put this chapter of my life behind me and start enjoying high school football as a spectator and get away from all the time-consuming activities that it has turned into. But no, there's no chance that I want to reconsider.
You told me at the beginning of the season you started out with 97 losses. You said you didn't want to lose 100. When you lost those first 2, I thought, oh, Ray, I'm afraid you're going to get into triple digits. But yeah. You may not.
Well, the kids, you know, I threw that at them as a little challenge to them. I says, guys, I don't want to lose 100. 100, and it's up to you whether I do or not. And I don't know how much that motivates kids today, but I think it's been a factor, and they definitely don't want to see me get 100, and they would definitely like to win a state championship. So I guarantee you we'll come to play. The kids will be ready. The staff has prepared them well, and we just hope that it all. I believe in deja vu. In '84, we both won it. I think we're both going to win it again this year.
There it is. It's on.
Everybody was comparing to last year's team, right?
Yeah.
You win this one today, baby, and you're going to be the standard that everybody's going to compare everybody else.
With the enthusiasm of a rookie coach, the inspiration of a legend, Ray Hentges led his Helias Crusaders onto the game field for the last time. A team that never made the rankings until slipping in at number 10 in the final regular season poll. A team that started with 2 losses, ended with a trip to the Trans World Dome in St. Louis. Tonight, Ray Hentges and the Crusaders are number 1. Steady all season long, the Helias defense came up with the big plays again. Chris Wilson's interception on the second play of the game, his school record 12th on the year, set up the first Helias touchdown. Derek Lukanoff ran in from 19. Helias led at 6-0 over Ozark. Just into the second quarter, quarterback Chad Castleman went over on the sneak. A 2-point conversion made it 14-zip Helias. Crusaders playing well in all phases, offense, defense, and special teams. Ryan Borman with a 37-yard field goal, 3rd longest in Show Me Bowl history. Ray Hentges took a 17-0 lead into the locker room. Midway through the third quarter, Helias working on a short field. 5 plays, 29 yards. Stuart Hentges scampering in from 24. It was 23-0. Moments later, Matt Schmitz, who ran for 119 yards on the day, carried this one 54. The game was over, 30-0. Ozark scored a couple meaningless touchdowns, while Helias ended with a Josh Kunsting interception return. Ray Hentges enjoyed that, as the thousands of Crusader fans enjoyed the school's 2nd ever football championship, a storybook ending to a 33-year coaching career at Helias.
I'm extremely happy. I'm also at peace, and I'm just happy it ended this way.
It's better than I could ever imagine. He deserves it. He deserves more than 2. We just gave him the last one. Best thing that could happen to us senior year, coaches last year. It's great.
Whoever said nice guys finish last never met Ray Hentges. At the Trans World Dome in St. Louis, a legend and a gentleman, Ray Hentges goes out a champion. Rod Smith, Sports Scene 13.
It's the greatest thing I've ever done. Something I'm never going to forget. Wouldn't trade it in for anything in the world. It's a great way to go out. Putting Coach Hentges out like that, something means a lot to all of us.
It was great. I enjoyed every minute of it, and I'm just really glad it turned out the way it did for Coach and all the players.
Oh, I'll just remember that it was a great way to go out for us as seniors and also for Coach in his last year also.
I thought it was a great year. Everybody loved it. All we were doing was trying to do it for Coach, and everybody knew that at the beginning of the year, nobody thought we were going to do anything, and we started out pretty bad. We pulled it back together, and we finished out pretty good.
I was just glad that, everyone was comparing us to last year, and we proved them wrong that, last year's teams of studs and everything, this team where we just worked hard and we accomplished our goals.
It was a great year. That's what everybody's been saying, but it was a great year, and it's what dreams are made of when everybody, they started out. We kind of took it a game at a time instead of having the overall state championship on our mind. But each game we got a little bit closer, and it kind of, from the back of our mind, came to the front of our mind, and we just ended up wanting to win it.
I was kind of worried there at the beginning. We didn't do too good the first 2 games, but we pulled it together and got things going.
Well, I thought it was a really good season. It's a lot to end it with the state championship, something that probably none of us ever thought would happen, was to win the state championship. And Coach's last year was a pretty fun year.
It was great. I don't think you could end it any better way than how we did.
It was just a Cinderella season. Being Coach Hentges' grand finale. We started out the season kind of rough 0-2, but we wheeled off 12 straight and won the championship, so it was just great.
I think it was a really good football season. It was
really unexpected. You know, we had really great teams the 2 years before, and you know, I think a lot of people expected it to be kind of down this year, but I think we really pulled it together and pulled off a great season.
And it was the luckiest year I could have come. I mean, to play Winfield football, it was great, and I'm glad I could be part of it.
I thought we had a pretty great year. It was fun for the most part, except for the start when we lost. But just overall, it was a pretty good time. I enjoyed it.
Well, I'll always remember the St. Joe game. It was the first game me and my little brother actually got to play on the same field together, and watching him score the winning touchdown was pretty exciting.
I guess the Moberly game, when I caught my first touchdown, I was just kind of like, whoa, surprised me.
Yeah, I'll never forget the St. Joe game. Coming down in the final seconds when I knocked the pass down on the goal line. It felt great, just knowing that our first win. We had 2 losses. Everybody was starting to say this team's not going to do anything. And we turned everything around. Surprised a lot of people.
I think the Salem game, our semifinal game, was really neat. Look, the stadium was so small and the crowd was so big, and it was neat. We won it, and we knew we were going to the Dome, and it was neat.
Biggest thing I think is just starting. You know, I went from not starting the first 2 games to finally starting, and then of course state championship game where I scored that touchdown. Coach Jeffries jokingly said, "I give you permission to score a touchdown and make the glory pages," and I was like, okay. And then the play came like perfect, and I went and scored a touchdown. And going to see my brother in the stands was awesome.
I think I'll always remember just playing in the Dome. That was a great environment. It's really fun to play there. It's a lot of fun. The best thing I remember is how everybody thought we weren't as good as last year's team and how we went out there and we won it, and that's all. That's the best thing that could have happened.
I think, you know, running out onto the TWA Dome and just listening to our, you know, fans and our supporters is something I'll never forget.
I think the one thing that stands out was the big thing we had in the field house after Coach Hench's last home game. Whenever he predicted that we would win state, and me and the 4 co-captains kind of looked at each other and we said, "Oh no," you know. But we kind of knew at that time that, you know, if he predicted it, it's kind of what we have to do.
Stepping onto the TWA Dome for the first time. I mean, because last year I went and watched the Jays win state and just thought I'd never be there, and then to have a chance to do this with Helias was awesome.
It teaches you how to be a winner, stick by your goals. You're going to achieve anything you want.
I think integrity and discipline and hard work, and just a general idea of what I'll take out of Helias football.
I'd say it's discipline, just the practices every day, as hard as they push you all year long, and 2 days all summer, and working all summer and lifting. It just works you, and finally it pays off at the end.
The coaches yelled at us a lot and gave me a lot of respect for people, respect for different things.
If you have a dream and a goal, hard work and determination, you can do whatever you want. And I think football has a lot to do with that, and just a career and everything in the future.
To accomplish something, you know, a team effort, you can do anything. As a team, you can only do so much individually, but as a unit working together, you can accomplish anything.
Yeah, Ray's a great coach, and he was all about Christianity, and I think just watching him at practice, how he conducts himself, and he's a good Christian man, and that reflects on me.
I think it makes me more of a man. I've learned a lot of responsibility playing. Made a lot of good friends. It's helped me to work well with other people. I learned that it takes, like, one person can't do everything. It takes a team. Like, everybody has to give 100%.
I think most of all it would be the discipline that it taught me, you know, to stick with it. You know, sometimes things will get tough, but you just got to stay with it and it'll all turn out for the better.
Probably just how hard we had to work and how hard we were pushed just to succeed, and that's how you got to be in life. The work that we did to do it, you see what it takes to be successful as a team and as a person. I think the coaches did a lot with us, and that's what helped us out.
I'm going to shoot him quick. Our first drive touchdown. Thanks for everything. It's been a great 33